Welcome back to The Middleman. My case, defending the voice of Delta. The recent defection of Governor Sheriff Oboriwori and the Delta State House of Assembly members from their former political affiliation raises significant concern among the citizens of Delta State. While officials like Charles Anyago, the Commissioner for Works, may claim that this shift is aimed at fostering development and progress, it is imperative to critically assess the implication of such a move. The truth is that this defection feels more self-serving than altruistic, undermining the spirit of genuine representation that the people of Delta State deserves. First and foremost, the decision to defect without consulting the very constituents they pledge to serve signifies a blatant disregard for the democratic process. Democracy hinges on representation, and when our elected officials act unilaterally, it erodes the trust and bond between them and the citizens. The voices of the people of Delta States are an essential component of governance. Decisions that impact their lives and future must be made transparently and with their input. The lack of consultation in this case leaves many feeling alienated and unrepresented, fostering a growing disconnection between leaders and the populace. Moreover, the notion that this political realignment will yield development is dubious. History has shown us that such abrupt shifts often prioritize the interests of a selected few rather than the collective need of the community. The citizens of Delta States desire comprehensive development not through opportunistic alliances, but through sustained policies and structure. Programs that addresses the fundamental issue facing our communities: education, healthcare, infrastructure, or infrastructural development, and youth empowerment. Genuine development requires more than mere political maneuvering. It demands a commitment to listening to and acting on the concerns of the people. Additionally, it is essential to highlight that political allegiances should be founded on shared values and ideologies rather than expediency. The current defection raises questions about the integrity and principle guiding our electoral officials. When leaders switch party lines motivated by personal ambition or the allure of political power, they risk alienating the electorate. The people of Delta State deserves leaders who stand firm in their belief, advocate for the interests of their constituents, and prioritize public welfare over personal gains. We need representatives who are accountable to the people, not those who shift their loyalties in search for a more advantageous position. The Delta State populace consists of vibrant, educated, and engaged individuals who want to see their leaders working collaboratively to address pressing societal issues. It is precisely for this reason that the people of Delta State must proactively voice their concern and demand accountability from their leaders. We have the right to question the decisions made on our behalf, to call for transparency, and to insist that our leaders include us in the decision-making process that will shape our lives. My verdict: the defection of Governor Sheriff Oborowori and his fellow or assembly members or the assembly members must be questioned and scrutinized. They claim that this political shift is for the sake of development rings hollow when the voices of the very people they represent are disregarded. As citizens of Delta State, we must remain vigilant, advocating for genuine representation, inclusivity, and leadership that prioritize the interests of the community over personal ambition. It is high time for our leaders to recognize that development is not merely political narrative, but a collective journey built on the participation and consent of the people. Let us stand together and demand the representation that we deserve. I shall go to Rabbi again.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting that all the foot soldiers, like Oviomo Agege and the rest of them who have been carrying APC's matter on their heads, have now been effectively consigned to the dustbin. Oviomo Agege had until now seen himself as the leader of APC in Delta State, even though he was being challenged by Festus Kiamo, Minister of Aviation. But now Kiamo has declared allegiance for Borewori. Now, if PDP were a functioning party, you see, the Supreme Court in the matter of the members of 27 members of the Rivers House Assembly defected, you said that the defection must be reflected in the membership register of the political parties, so of the party where they have moved to. So now PDP has the ample opportunity to recall all those to get their seats declared vacant.
Yes.
But the sad thing is that Damagun, Umar Damagun, who is the chairman of PDP, is actually the main agent destabilizing the PDP because he's a wicked acolyte. And the loyal members of the PDP must at this time fight back. We must say no to this kind of brigandage because this is plain brigandage. This is criminality. You see, people should not be allowed to get away with these things. Because what it shows is that we are electing people who lack moral character, who lack moral fiber. And it has to be condemned. I see some journalists writing, after this, it will be the governor. They are now doing it as if they are doing... Well, it's interesting. It's interesting that all the foot soldiers, like Oviomo Agege and the rest of them who have been carrying APC's matter on their heads, have now been effectively consigned to the dustbin. Oviomo Agege had until now seen himself as the leader of APC in Delta State, even though he was being challenged by Festus Kiamo, Minister of Aviation. But now Kiamo has declared allegiance for Borewori. Now, if PDP were a functioning party, you see, the Supreme Court in the matter of the members of 27 members of the Rivers House Assembly defected, you said that the defection must be reflected in the membership register of the political parties, so of the party where they have moved to. So now PDP has the ample opportunity to recall all those to get their seats declared vacant.
Yes.
But the sad thing is that Damagun, Umar Damagun, who is the chairman of PDP, is actually the main agent destabilizing the PDP because he's a wicked acolyte. And the loyal members of the PDP must at this time fight back. We must say no to this kind of brigandage because this is plain brigandage. This is criminality. You see, people should not be allowed to get away with these things. Because what it shows is that we are electing people who lack moral character, who lack moral fiber. And it has to be condemned. I see some journalists writing, after this, it will be the governor. They are now doing it as if they are doing... post betting. It's shameful. Journalists who should condemn such things are the ones now trumpeting. It's shameful.
I'm a journalist and I don't care which political party the governor belongs to. Are they providing good governance? Are the people better for it? Because the political parties, if not all of them that we have in Nigeria, they're all political platforms where I just come because I think that I have interest. I mean, look at the Labour Party's Val Ozigbo, who went to APC thinking that they were going to give him the flagship for governorship elections for Anambra State. And he went to show Tinubu's daughter that I'm now in APC. What happened to him? He lost the primaries. Who really cares about which political? The party that Tinubu is in was the party that Buhari was in. What has the APC done for any Nigerian in 10 years, aside from their political stalwarts, their godsons, and their allies?
That of Delta is even more painful, because former Governor Kowa, who led the state before the current governor, you know, had spent over ₦1 trillion,
Jesus,
which he embezzled, and is now before the EFCC. Whether it's allegedly, people say allegedly. I know that.
You don't allegedly or facts.
Yeah, because now he has been looking for an escape route since. How to pull out from criminal liability or prosecution, and have met with the APC and have been promised soft landing.
You know,
so
former governor
he has now used his influence.
Come to APC.
Yes, that is the mandate.
But Yaya Bello
now,
in APC
now
has he been giving?
Now he has used his influence to convince the cabinet member and the executive, including the governor, and so that they can pull out from the PDP and face. It's not altruistic.
So that what APC will pardon him, right?
Yes. What Charles Anyago is telling us that is for development is false.
Which development?
It's a lie, because
that's the question I'm asking.
Yeah, because moving from PDP to APC does not add to the revenue of Delta State
at all.
It will rather even take away from them, because they have to start their allegiance to the party. They have to contribute to the party in power.
Yeah.
Just like Okowa
contributed to the PDP's
contributed
campaign
to the White Elephant project
by Atiku.
Even when after their Sabbath declaration, they all agreed, okay, that power should come to the south.
He went to go and join.
He was the host governor. He was the host governor.
Imagine.
Then he left that place and went to join Atiku on that bandwagon.
Traitor.
Took Delta State money and went to blow it up.
To campaign.
Yes. Now he found himself in the EFCC net. He's now looking for a way.
A soft landing.
A soft landing, a way to pull out so that he can escape criminal liability. You saw the way he was smiling when the defection.
You are a Deltan. So what can the people do?
What the people can do is what we're saying now, that the people should be vigilant. The people should come out for a protest.
Okay.
The people must ensure that the investigation that is ongoing
comes to a conclusive end.
Yes, he must be prosecuted for
stealing
money
funds
that belongs to the people of Delta State. He cannot use backdoor.
How much did you call that money again?
Over 1 trillion.
1.3 trillion.
1.3 trillion.
How much is Nigerian budget?
45 trillion.
45 trillion. You can imagine.
So it's just like one of.
It's about one fourth of Nigerian budget that only him took and went to blow it up. Is he the only one in Delta State?
Now,
so imagine the kind of money, imagine what the kind of project that funds
could do. How many hospitals, how many schools?
No, yes. You know, sorry, you know the interesting thing was that when he was governor, Buhari's budget was 8 trillion. If you remember, it was 8 trillion. The then chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Fowler, Batunde Fowler, at a time promised Buhari that he could raise a substantial part of the money from taxes. So what it means is that all the work,
that Fowler has done,
that he did at that time,
one person has stolen it.
Now, there's no gainsaying, right? There's no gainsaying that this defection is literally an SOS defection, save our soul defection. There's no gainsaying about that. As much as most of us agree that it's a marriage of convenience, those in the APC are not really looking at it from that perspective. What they are rather saying is that there is a fault with the PDP. that the PDP is not a strong opposition. That is the reason why people are joining the APC. That was what he said. And he was even given example of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu from 1999 up onwards, that at that point that he was the strongest of the opposition and he stood his ground, and how that the PDP governors are not standing their grounds to opposition and all, and that was the reason why they defected.
So
now
Charles is about President Tinubu when he was governor.
Yes, when he was
governor. Why is he not standing his ground in PDP?
And what Charles actually
stood
said,
as the only AD governor that remained by 2003 elections. All the southwestern states had been wiped out by PDP.
and that was what the man was actually saying, that if Tinubu could stand his ground, then the opposition, the PDP, should equally stand their ground. But because they are lazy, he actually calls them lazy.
No. He's
But he was in the opposition before him.
He's pointing a finger.
Against himself.
And three fingers are pointing right back
that
at him.
2003, the fact that Obasanjo was not able to take Lagos was because Obasanjo was not serious about taking Lagos. Who was the candidate then? Was it not Dosumu?
Was it not? Obasanjo was not serious, or it was?
Obasanjo was not serious. In fact, the person who should have led the charge, Bode George.
Remember that Funshaw Williams was killed not too long before that.
Yes, all
that
of those things.
Yes,
all of those things. So that's what I'm saying, that saying that Tinubu is too strong is just, begging the question. We were all reporters on ground. We saw everything that happened.
I get what you
mean. So it's not as if Tinubu was one fantastic
strong
politician.
I get what you mean.
If PDP had wanted to take Lagos,
once Funshaw Williams died, they would have found a stronger candidate.
They wouldn't even have allowed Funshaw Williams to be killed.
Like that.
It was so clear. They would have protected him. Why was their candidate, why was Funshaw Williams staying in Dolphin Estate, which had divided duplexes? The other duplex, the twin duplex, the people living there packed out.
And then somebody came in
through the roof. What kind of carelessness
protection is that for your...
Funshaw Williams had good protection. He had good police protection on the road. But how come that carelessness took place in the house where it was? Why did he occupy
the entire
whole
duplex?
Place? So there was a lot of things. And then, of course, his wife. You saw how,
they now gave her the candidate.
So, you see...
So they played into Tinubu's hands. It wasn't that it was a fantastic
Yeah, the people in Lagos, the PDP people in Lagos...
Played into his
at that time.
Played into his
Bode George, Moritala Mohammed Ashorobi, and the rest of them, they all played into Tinubu's hands.
So all the lies and machinations and shenanigans of that, oh no, there was this strong... If he's right about what he's saying, right, that President Tinubu stayed strong as, the only AC and then ADAC and then ACN governor, why is he not staying in the PDP and becoming a strong governor also that can defend his political party, rather jumping to the ruling political party for his own selfish reasons, and so that his political godfather can find a soft landing from the EFCC? I beg.
It was for the purpose of saving. It was for the purpose of saving his political godfather that he joined in moving. Okay,
so if
Tinubu was such a strong politician, why did he not help Atiku to scale through under AC in 2007? We witnessed all these things, but it just, when they just try twisting the Gen Zs with just
and then he had Ribadu in 2011.
2011. Why did Ribadu won only Osun State? Because Aregbesola
was governor.
Well, Aregbesola stood his ground. And why would we disgrace our own party's candidate? So look, all of this talk about this thing is just opportunistic.
We'll go on a short break, and the conversation will continue when we return. Juro Emeka will present his case titled Tinubu's Midterm Scorecard. Don't go anywhere.